Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is MUFC versus everybody. I am your host, Sean, and we are back to get your reactions, your thoughts, your opinions on some of the latest breaking news around Manchester United, the football club we all know and love with every part of our hearts. I'm here to share a little bit of my thoughts on everything, of course, but as always, I care more about what you guys have to say, what your opinions are, and I would love to get your engagement. Danny B, welcome back, my friend. Already getting involved. Big up, Danny B. So today, not going to be super long video because it's a little quiet, but we did get kind of a huge bomba from David Ornstein today. So I'm sure you guys have already seen the news. You probably watched a bunch of other channels, read on Twitter, whatever you usually get your news from as far as Manchester United. But I want to hear your thoughts. I want to share some of mine, put some other questions out there to get people thinking, get people talking, get people engaged in the chat. But let's get stuck in. Don't forget to hit that like button before we do get started. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new. We talk about a lot of things on this channel. Talk about Ugarte, talk about De Ligt, talk about all these coaches, new additions to the staff, everything. So go check out some of the other videos too while you're at it. You'll get to learn a little bit about Rene Haka, Ruud van Nistelrooy, some of the transfer targets we've been linked with. Go check those out as well for a little bit of a deep dive on that, some of that stuff. We did a great video the other day on the new stadium situation, the 100K seat stadium and things. I did a video this morning talking about Casemiro's contract. Should we terminate that or not? It's going to cost us a lot of money. Should we just take whatever we can get for him? Go check out that video too to get everyone's thoughts. But now we're going to talk a little bit about, obviously, what David Ornstein had to say about Manchester United's interest in Ugarte. We got a little bit of Leny Yoro injury update, and then I have some fun news to share with you guys a little later on. So let's dive right in. Again, huge update from David Ornstein this afternoon. He's writing for The Athletic. He claimed that Man United have now switched their midfielder search away from Manuel Ugarte and will now move on to other options. I know there's going to be some people in the chat, some United fans who probably happier with this, happy that we're not wasting time, happy that we're not overpaying, maybe think that there are other options. Maybe you're just not an Ugarte fan. That's totally fine too, right? Nothing wrong with that. Sounds like, according to Ornstein, though, United don't intend to meet PSG's 60 million euro asking price, and we will only come back to the table if PSG lowers their price. No progress yet. Talks have reportedly cooled. We are exploring other top targets. That's big news, right? We spent a couple weeks now talking about Ugarte. I've done a lot of videos about Ugarte, all these updates. I did that deep dive video on what he brings to Manchester United. So go check that out if you want a little bit of an inside look. Probably not the kind of news a lot of us were expecting to get today. It seemed like, yeah, we were haggling, but it's, with personal terms agreed. The player wanted to leave. He's not clearly in PSG's plans. And, we were talking about Romano's update earlier that, we have a good relationship with Ugarte's agent, who is Jorge Mendes. We have really good relationship with that. So reportedly that relationship made this deal easier to complete, according to Romano, but clearly maybe that's not the case. Ornstein also added the feeling at United is that they're only willing to pay what they deem to be the correct fee for each transfer target, and negotiations will not be allowed to drag on until the end of the window. So what we've seen in the past, right, is, overpaying, targeting one player for the entire window, trying to haggle, trying to negotiate only to pay more than market value. And I think that, again, like I've said many times, Ineos they're dealing with PSR, FFP. They're not only dealing with those financial issues, though. Like we saw from Omar Barada when he was at City, this recruitment team is not going to be bent over when it comes to overpaying. There are a lot of players that Man City got, and I'm sure that some of their shady brown envelope dealings have something to do with it, but they paid way under market value for a lot of players when Omar Barada was there. And so it's interesting to see that, and it's refreshing, right? It's a positive, right, to see that we're kind of shifting from that, because there is a reason the term United tax exists, right? And this could be kind of the first steps towards moving away from that, removing that term from the football lexicon, if you will. We already did it with Jared Branthwaite. right? It sounds like we kind of did that with Neves because we were reported for a lot of money for Neves. And for those of you who don't think the United tax exists, maybe there's some rival fans out there watching, whatever, check what PSG just paid for João Neves compared to what Benfica demanded from United. And you can talk about that all you want to. Danny B getting involved. Plenty of options out there, Sean. João Gomez, always one of my favorites. There's Cacare, Andre Allen Varela at Porto, probably just good similar profiles to Ugarte. Yeah, I'm going to list a couple of those. I always forget about Cacare. He's one, I want to say I included him in one of my videos a while back. He was very highly rated, and then Lyon had a lot of issues with management and things, and pretty much Lyon as a club on the pitch, their whole squad kind of took a dip, but he's seen a real resurgence in the last year or so, Cacare. So I do like Cacare. I've spoken about Alan Varela. Danny, you and I talked about Varela. I love Varela. I loved him when he was at Boca. He was a force for Porto in the Champions League as well this season. He was so good, dropping back deep, getting involved, just guarding his area very, very well. I love Alan Varela, and he's still very, very young. So I don't have a stance on whether or not it's right or wrong to walk away from Manuel Ugarte. I do like Ugarte a lot. I didn't want to pay, 70 million, whatever PSG were asking. I think that was asinine. I am a bit frustrated, though, that, we didn't walk away sooner if we weren't going to pay more than a certain amount. If it doesn't seem like anyone's budging, it's like buying a car. Like I said yesterday, my wife and I went to go look at cars today, and you got to go in. Like, maybe I'm just different. I have zero emotional attachment to like cars, furniture, decorating, like houses. Even I have zero. I could easily say yes or no. It doesn't really make a difference to me. I'm ready to walk away if I don't really like what I hear. It is what it is. But like, why did we wait so long? We've been talking about Ugarte for weeks, and we just now walk away. It's August. We've got 2 weeks, not even, and we're playing a match. So, like, can we get another deal done before that? Can we get someone in time to maybe for the Community Shield? I doubt it, but you never know. This is why it's important to scout thoroughly, to have other options, and to reach out to multiple players, representatives, and other clubs at the same time, simultaneously. So you're not spending weeks or even like more than a month focusing on one target and only to get, rebuffed or to have to walk away because you can't afford it. And then now you got to start the process all over again. I like what I've seen from Ineos in that regard, and in terms of the way we're handling it, it's a bit frustrating. Danny B says Ederson at Atalanta, he was heavily linked last season. Yeah, I know all that kind of went a little quiet. There was a lot of players that popped up this past season, and a lot of it's gone quiet since then. If we don't end up buying Ugarte, what does that mean for our midfield next season? What does that look like? I think we need to buy a midfielder, period. I don't think there's any sort of getting around that. We need a midfielder. Casemiro has not looked great. McTominay, to me, is definitely not at the level that we need. Amrabat's no longer here. Whether or not that means we'll go back in for him, remains to be seen. But he was here last year, and now he's not. So technically, we're down a midfielder. Oyedele is not ready. Collier questionably ready or not. We spoke this morning about the reports that there's a chance Collier could go out on loan. And so we are technically down a midfielder already. So that we've been linked with it. Danny P says we're fucked. We've been linked with a ton of players though. So Zubamendi we've been linked with in the last few weeks. Rabiot, obviously, although I think that Rabiot might be it might be a non-starter with what the wage demand is he's reporting. I don't know why he thinks he's entitled to this pay rise, but good luck to you, buddy. C'est la vie. Amrabat, like I mentioned, we've been linked with maybe returning for Amrabat, for roughly half of what the option to buy him would have been the end of last season. João Gomez, we were linked with João Gomez a little bit towards the end of last season. I really like João Gomez. I know my boy Danny B in the chat loves João Gomez. I like João Gomez a lot. He is a very similar profile to Ugarte. Gets in, wins the ball. I really would like us to get some ball winners, someone who's got good recovery, who can break up the play. we get run through that midfield too frequently. We saw Arsenal do it, Liverpool do it. They just kind of pass through us without any sort of really a whole lot of effort. And I like someone who's not afraid to get stuck in, who can sniff out that danger and makes a lot of interceptions. I talked a little bit about João Gomez in some past videos on defensive midfield targets as well. So go check out some of those videos. I will admit I don't watch a ton of Wolves matches, or as I like to call them, Portugal's B team, basically, because it's just that club is basically run. We've been linked with in the past as well, who had a really good season with Atlanta. They kind of came out of nowhere against Leverkusen, didn't they, in that final? I don't think anybody anticipated Leverkusen losing that final, but it is what it is. At Atlanta, they were really, really, really good a few seasons ago. Obviously, that's where we got Højlund from as well. They have some really good players. I can't remember off the top of my head if Koopmeiners is leaving or not, but I really like Koopmeiners a lot. I liked him when he was at AZ Alkmaar. I think Koopmeiners is a great midfielder. And then another name I would put out there is Andre at Fluminense. Now, he was a guy heavily linked with a lot of clubs in the Premier League. I know Fulham made a bid for him. Supposedly Liverpool were interested in him as well. He could be available for super cheap, which leads me into my next point. So we had some breaking news, and not breaking news, but updates on midfield targets coming out a little before I went live. And this is from Ben Jacobs this time. So according to Ben Jacobs, United are still looking at João Gomez. So Danny B's probably like, yay, from Wolves. And we're also looking at Andre from Fluminense as backup options if we can't land Manuel Ugarte. So Andre is available for less than 35 million euros, but Wolves want apparently over 60 million for Gomez. That's a big jump. I don't know if I'd want to spend 60 million on João Gomez. Maybe it's again, United tax rearing its ugly head. Who knows? But if we didn't overpay for Ugarte, I doubt we're going to do that with someone like Gomez. 35 million for Andre, sell McTominay perhaps, and then maybe go ahead and bring Amrabat back for like 10 to 12 million. That could be really good business. Two midfielders for just under 50 million could be really good business. Andre is obviously highly rated. Fulham actually had their initial bid, like I said, rejected. Liverpool were interested as well. Danny B, my boy, Eki Fernandez. That's the other guy, Eki Fernandez at Boca, probably going to Saudi or Porto. Oh, if he goes to Porto, maybe Varela will be available. Who knows? I would take Varela in a heartbeat. Although Porto might be looking at Benfica selling every player for 100 mil and saying, no, we want some of that action. You'd think if we were going to walk away from Ugarte, though, that we'd have another target lined up, right? Hopefully, like I said earlier, that means we have other targets. It sounds like we do have other targets ready-made. Zubamende, Rabiot, Amrabat, João Gomez, and maybe Andre as well. Whatever that may look like, it's anyone's guess, as David Ornstein said last month. Like, it's anyone's guess. I've given up. Or there's the possibility that this is all a ploy. Like I said, ready to walk away. Like when my wife and I bought one of our Jeeps, 10, 11 years ago, it was only like a year old, only had went from one dealer to the next. We went in, the price they quoted was a little higher. We just left. They ended up calling us the next day and saying, okay, we can do the price. Come back and we'll get you taken care of. No problem. And you got to be ready to do that because you never know what's going to happen. So maybe this is a way to kind of let PSG know, no, we're not doing that. We're not going in overpaying. We're ready to walk away. We've got other targets. You guys don't want him. He wants to leave. So now you've got an unhappy player who you're paying a lot of money, and you just spent a lot of money. You bought the keeper, you bought João Gomez. They were maybe interested in Alvarez, who might be going to Atletico Madrid now. And then who else were they interested in today? I just saw something else at PSG that they were, Pacho from Frankfurt, the defender. They're going to land him. And they're paying a lot of money for that guy too. But yeah, Danny, I will go look up Eki. Now I looked up the other guy. I can't remember his name now because it was a couple of days ago. I told you my memory is new information doesn't last very long. So, but what are your guys' thoughts on the Ugarte deal? What do you think is going to happen? Do you think, we're just going to fully move on like we did with Branthwaite? Do you think that it's a ploy to try to get PSG to lower that price? Either way, if it is a ploy, I wouldn't want us to sit here and haggle again for another week to 2 weeks. We need someone now. We need someone to come in, get familiar with the squad, get familiar with Ten Hag, get match fit, and get up to speed. The Premier League starts in a couple weeks, you guys. Friday the 16th, I believe. If my memory serves me right, that's literally not even 2 weeks away. And we're already playing Fulham. So we have really not sold anyone of import. We've sold Greenwood, Kambwala, and Donny. We need to move these players on. Obviously, we need to sell to buy right now. That's why we're having a hard time buying players. So you let me know in the thoughts if you're live. Let me know in the comments after the fact if you're not able to catch live what you think the Ugarte situation is going to be. And I'll stop and respond if anyone has any other thoughts, but we're going to move on to the next topic here, and that is Leny Yoro. So update, official statement from the club today. Leny Yoro has undergone surgery to correct his foot injury that he sustained during our preseason friendly against Arsenal, who apparently thought that was their cup final. But whenever they play United, it is a cup final. The club revealed that Yoro's surgery was a success. Like I said, he's set for a spell on the sidelines as he rehabilitates. And they say that he will be back in 3 months. For fuck's sake. 3 months. 2 games into his United career. 2 friendlies into his United career. And Yoro is already out for 3 months. And I don't blame him, but just literally the same thing that Lisandro Martinez had to deal with towards the end of Ten Hag's first season, that metatarsal. So it sounds like he had surgery. Metatarsals they're tricky. Obviously, it's the game played with your feet. Your feet are going to play a big role. So an injury to your foot is going to suck. I had that happen at the end of May, tore a ligament in my foot, and it's still a little sore, but I couldn't walk for 2 weeks. I could not get up and down the stairs. So I get it. I do get it. I'm not a professional footballer. Wish I was. I probably would have had better medical care, but this is America. This is how we do. But this club, man, we're cursed when it comes to injuries. Seriously, we are cursed. So let me know your thoughts on Yoro. I mean, are we going to grab a defender? Are we going to stick it out? I don't know. It sounds like we're just don't have the money right now, and we need to sell to buy. We're looking to maybe move on McTominay, looking to move on Wan-Bissaka to get Mazraoui in, possibly De Ligt. We put in that joint offer for De Ligt and Mazraoui late last week. Lindelof's getting some interest. Who knows? But we do need bodies. We do need midfielder. We do need defenders. And nothing's really been happening for a couple weeks. Like I said, though, we have made offers. We are doing things. It's just I think everyone would like to see something happening. And so it is a process. It is not overnight. It does take time. But let me know your thoughts on the defender situation, the injury crisis. Yes, we already have an injury crisis. We're not even done with preseason technically because I don't count the Community Shield. But that's just me. Short video today. Real quick before you go, though. Be sure to stop by this Saturday afternoon. Gonna have a guest, possibly 2 guests. We'll see. I'm trying to get that worked out. Going to be more of an interactive show on Saturday for sure. It was a show that I had planned for last month towards the end of the season. But again, my foot injury kind of derailed all that. But the show I'm planning to do finally my Manchester United 2023-2024 season award show. So the awards from last season, basically. I'd love to get your guys' thoughts and your guys' interaction on that. So that's this Saturday. Should prepare yourself ahead of time. If you want, go ahead and maybe get your pick in for goal of the season, get your pick for moment of the season, get your picks for worst refereeing decision against United of the season, and get your pick in for player of the season, obviously. I have some ready-made candidates already ready for each award, but feel free as the show goes on to add your own. But it's going to be fun. It's something, like I said, it's something I want to do for a little while. It's just timing, and then my injury kind of killed that. And there might be more awards to pop up. I do have a couple of little fun surprises planned. So Danny B says, if it stays like this, we won't get top 6, never mind top 4. Yeah, we will do a video towards the end of the transfer window, kind of rating the window, but also maybe putting out the expectations for the season based on what we're seeing. By the time the transfer window closes, we'll be a couple matches into the season, so we'll have a better understanding of maybe what we can expect tactics-wise and maybe player performance-wise. So we'll do it towards the end. I don't want to do it too soon, and I don't want to just base it on transfers because that's really hard to do. Nick Fadley says top 4 is hard. Cisse Acefa, did I say that right? Give me the thumbs up. So yeah, mark your calendars for Saturday, guys. I'll remind you later this week as well. Obviously, it'll be a few hours after the Community Shield. So if you're a Community Shield person, you won't have to miss that. I think the Community Shield kickoff for me is 10 a.m. I'm planning to do the video probably between 2 and 3, probably closer to 3. But so mark your calendars, and like I said, I will remind you. So if that's later, if you're in, I know some of you are watching from like Africa and whatnot. Apologies if that's late, but try to get that coordinated with the people that I'm hoping to have here in person. Let you guys meet some other United supporters that live in the Mitten State, and check them out. So that is going to do it for me today. Again, everybody who stopped by today, Danny, Nick, Cisse, thank you for stopping by. Let me know if you're not able to catch the live. Leave a comment what your thoughts are on Ugarte. Do you still want him? Do you want us to go back? Do you want to pay? Do you have another target in mind, other options? I know Danny B's always ready and willing with the scouting reports on all these players. He listed Cacare, João Gomez, Andre Fluminense, Alan Varela, all great options as well. Of course, Amrabat's still out there. Ravio's still out there. Zuba Mendes still out there. So get your thoughts in on that. Go ahead and get looking at your player of the season, your worst rep decision of the season, goal of the season, and moment of the season for Manchester United for last season. We're finally going to do that show that I wanted to do, and do that on Saturday. So that is going to do it for me. Like I said, short video, but I did just want to make sure I stopped by and got your thoughts on all the news today. So big up everybody who stopped by. Don't forget to hit the like button before you hit the X button, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new. Go check me out on Twitter, MUFC versus everybody. Everybody who stopped by today, Danny B, big up representing, man. Have a good night, guys. I will talk to you on the next one, hopefully with some big news tomorrow. I'm really looking forward. You know, we did get the reports that there was going to be some big news in the next couple of days. So let's keep our fingers crossed, pray for some good news, and I will see you guys later. Enjoy your evening. Bye.